man, don't you think he's like the next Steve McQueen? Love it, he is, man. I was so pumped. We were trying to cast the movie. I literally was saying that. I said, look, I want to find the next Steve McQueen. His name came up. I never watched Breaking Bad, so I didn't know who the hell Paul was. And the funny part was they want, when his name came up, it was to play Dino. And I was like, really? So when I go, let me see some tape on him, I saw some tape on him, and I was like, man, this kid is for real, he's so good. Forget the lead, forget Dino, man, this guy should play the lead. And they said, no, the studio will never go for that. And so they talked me out of it, and then they put Aaron up in front of Spielberg to see which guys he wanted to play around the kid that we thought was maybe gonna play Toby. He saw Aaron's tape and goes, man, this Aaron Paul kid's really fantastic. Why aren't we considering him for the lead? And that was it. Long story short, 24 hours later, Aaron Paul was cast.
I read the title page and I said, Need for Speed. What is this movie, really going to be about? Is there going to be a really solid story there? And I read it and I was just so invested with these characters from the very beginning. And then when I talked to Scott and, he told me he wanted to do a throwback to the classic car culture films such as Bullet and Vanishing Point. I've been such a huge fan of Steve McQueen forever, and that just got me very excited about jumping on board. When we first had conversations about this project, he said, "Now listen, if you want to jump on board, I'm gonna really need you to learn how to drive." And I knew how to drive before, but nothing like this. And so he's like, if you want to do this, I need to get you some serious seat time in these cars. And so really the first day working on this project was, on the racetrack, a closed down racetrack, from sunrise to sunset, just really learning how to get out of problematic situations, and then learning how to, drift around corners and doing reverse 180s and just madness, just so much fun.
Go to now. Looks like a scene out of Speed down there. Hard left and 3, Keanu.
Oh, you mean that bus.
We built kit cars that were still really expensive, but I need to put roll cages in all the cars because if you didn't notice, I don't do anything computer generated. I think that's a bunch of BS. I like to do everything for real.
Every single stunt on there was practical. We actually did it. There was no CGI.
Yeah, no CGI. And so I needed to build real kit cars that had real cages so the stunt guys didn't get hurt, and smoke a Mona Lisa that I think some of these cars are like. There's only one of 3 in the world, those Lamborghini Elementos, and I wasn't about to wreck one.
We would shoot an episode of Breaking Bad in 8 days, so that's a lot to shoot in 8 days, and usually the days are about 13 to 14 hours. By the end of the episodes, it may be about 15, 16-hour days, which is as well is pretty long. But with this, we shot an entire movie in about just under 4 months, right? 3.5, 4 months. So I would get to set and we'd shoot a racing sequence and it would take 2 weeks, and so I would have 0 dialogue for 2 weeks. I just needed to drive around really fast cars, so it was quite different, but so fun.
I would come up to him and go, bro, this is a big day today.
Huge.
You have to say 2 lines.
Don't mess up.
Don't mess up.
Okay? Do not mess up. First of all, my favorite car had to be the Gran Torino. All of those cars were so much fun to drive, but I wanted to take the Gran Torino home with me, We were fighting over the Gran Torino during the entire shoot. We had 2 identical Gran Torinos. One got totaled by accident during one of the races, and so there was one remaining, and we would just look at each other and just mess with each other through the rest of the shoot. Neither of us won, but DreamWorks has the keys, and also you're a bitch.